Tvam Vaishnavi Shaktiranantavirya Vishwasya Bijam Paramam Dhanam Shanmohitam Devi Samastametat Tvang Vai Prasanna Bhuvimuktiretu. O Mother, thou art the great primal energy, the source of infinite strength. Thou art the siege of the world and illusion divine. Thou hast enchanted the whole universe, O Goddess Supreme, by thy deluging charms, and yet being propitious, thou bestowest liberation upon men. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be to all. This morning our subject is adventures in the spiritual life. Yesterday we observed Diwali, the light festival, which is a very, very auspicious festival all over India. It is called the Festival of Lights. Even if you go to a poor home in India, even in villages, you will find that the light, the lamp, oil lamp is burning in front of their houses. All temples are illuminated. Somebody sent me an email with balloon much how beautiful it is illuminated. And I saw in the YouTube also, the Dakshineswar temple also, beautifully illuminated. Illumination. One of the wonderful prayers of the Vedas, Tamaso ma jyotir kamaya, leads us from darkness to light, leads us from death to immortality, leads us from the unreal to the real, darkness to illumination, light. This light is the light of consciousness. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the question arose, Kim Jyoti, where is the light? Surya Jyoti, the sun, light comes from the sun. When there is no sun, Chandra Jyoti, the light comes from the moon. No sun, no moon, the light comes from the lightning. When all three are absent, the light comes from the fire, Agni Jyoti. When no sun, no moon, no lightning, no fire, where is the light? Shabda Jyoti, sound is the light. Sound is the light? Yes. Perhaps you are my neighbor. Whole world is full of darkness. You are shouting, help, help. Following that sound, I can move and go to your house. Shabda Jyoti. When even the sound stops, where is the light? Atma Jyoti. The light is the Atman and the self. Beautiful. Just think of that thousands of years ago. The rishis, the sages, explode, made an adventure. Where is the light? That light exists in all of our hearts, in all human beings. Hindus believe that we are the children of light. Jyotir Tanay. I was telling my brother monk the other day why Hinduism is so vibrant. I shall tell you, which is very interesting. First, we have many gods and goddesses. You have plenty of choice. If you do not like Mother, take Vishnu, Shiva, other gods, and variety. Enough choice. And if you do not like gods and goddesses, we have also Atman. Atmanam Vidhi, know thyself. Enough choice, many choices. Second, so many festivals. You will not find any other religion. We have a saying, Baro Mashe Tero Parbon. 13 festivals in 12 months. Festivals. These festivals brings joy, excitement in human mind. Festivals. Otherwise, human life becomes very monotonous, dull, hackneyed. We need excitement. So festivals bring the excitement. Third, there are not so many holy places, Tirthasthanam. You will find all over India. In no other religion you will find so many holy places. Amazing how people visit Kedarnath, Badrinath, Amarnath, South India, Meenakshi, Madurai, Rameshwaram. So many temples. Mandirmay Bharat, the whole India is full of temples. From east to the west, south to the north, full of temples. If you see the majesty of the Gopuram of the South Indian temples, marvelous. Meenakshi temple, Rameshwaram. In the north also, beautiful, beautiful temples. You will not find so many rishis, sages, avatars in any other religion. Which is amazing. You will not find so many scriptures in other religions. At the same time, in Hinduism, there is no doctrine, dogma, creed. Just plenty of freedom in the path of religion. You make adventure in whatever way you want. That is the reason the Hinduism is very vibrant. Take away, as Swamiji says, take away my country, take away my money, take away my everything, but don't take away my religion. That is the reason. India tried to preserve its spiritual culture for thousands and thousands of years, though it was under the Muslim rules 700 years, British, French and Portuguese rules for 300 years. They preserved their spiritual culture. Now, God endowed human beings a most precious element, and that is buddhi, intellect, the discriminating faculty. You can choose good and evil. What is good? The thing which you make you strong, that is good. And that which is make you weak, that is wrong. That is Vivekananda's definition of strong and weak, strength and weakness, good and evil. There are two paths. I am talking about buddhi, intellect. There are two paths in front of us, Kathopanishad tells us, Shreshya Preshya Manushya Mehitaha Tau Samparitta Vibhinukti Dhiraha. Shreya and Preya, the path of good and path of pleasure. These are the two paths in front of us. Those who are wise, they take the path of good, which takes them to spiritual path, liberation. And the other path is the path of pleasure, worldly enjoyment, that will take you to Maya. These are the two paths in front of us. Your buddhi, your intellectual decide which path do you want to tread, you want to walk. Both good and pleasant present themselves to a man. The calm soul examines them with discrimination, discriminate them well and discriminates. Examines them well and discriminate. The person who prefers the good to the pleasant, but the fool chooses the pleasant out of greed and avarice. These are the two paths. Krishna also mentions in the Gita, Agre Vishamiva Pare Amritopama. The spiritual path in the very beginning, it is very, very distasteful, like poison, very hard. But in the end, nectar, full of bliss, full of joy. Worldly life, just vice versa. In the beginning, very joyful, pleasant, happy. Afterwards, misery. These are the two paths in front of us from the very beginning. Christ also mentioned man cannot worship God and Mammon at the same time. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth to God, from the mouth of God. Jesus said that. Sometimes people ask, why should I need this spiritual life? Why do I need God? I have beautiful wife, I have money, I have children, I have power, I have position, I have everything. I don't need God. That is the view of the most people in this world. We want to lead godless life. The moment somebody says that you have a terminal cancer, thus, no doctor can cure you. At that time I would think, my money, my family cannot help me. I need some help. Shankara mentioned, Makuru dhanajana jauvana garbham haroti niveshat kala sarvam. Do not be proud of your dhana, money, jauvan, youth, your friends and family. The kala, death can take away anybody from any time. I was in Hollywood for 7 years. I saw the glamour, the actors and actresses. When they become old, they go to seclusion. They don't want to see their faces. There is some actors, actresses, life I knew personally, very sad. No friends, no families. All glamour is gone. Family. Sometimes I go to the nursing homes, to see our old devotees. I see how they are leading their lives in that nursing home in seclusion. If you have good children, they may come and see you. Some have no visitors. It's sometimes very sad to see them. They ruminate their past lives. But those who have spiritual background, no problem. They knew that the world is not real. God alone is real. I shall stick to my mind to God. God is my eternal companion. They get peace, joy. They do not grumble. They do not complain. How spiritual journey, spiritual adventure helps, that I am telling you, in old age. You may think that in old age I shall practice religion, it will not work. Start right now. I remember we have a couple there from Czechoslovakia. Both are doctors in Santa Barbara. I used to tell them, they're Prabhupada's disciples. You have a guru, you have a mantra, you have a ishta, chosen ideal. What do you need? That's enough. Then the doctor smiled and said, Swami, I need social security check. Very funny. When you develop this kind of relationship with God, do you know how will you feel? Sri Ramakrishna taught it. Dukkha jane ashurir jane man tumi anande thako. Let the suffering and the body take care of themselves. Oh my mind, you dwell in bliss. Even in old age, in sick days, you will never feel lonely. You will find God is with you. That comes from this spiritual life, the spiritual adventure. One of our devotees was telling me the other day that, you know, some of my friends asked me that, what do you get from Vedanta? So I told my friends, detachment. My friends told me, if I am detached, that means I do not love my husband or I do not love my wife. Here is another misunderstanding about detachment or renunciation. Let me tell you how it works. Detachment and attachment go side by side. When you are detached to yourself, then you can love wholeheartedly your wife, your children. You are making money, you are making all kinds of work for them just to make them happy. You forgot your self-interest, selfishness. Any suffering, pain, you just forget because you love them. That is not attachment, that is called real love. Attachment comes when I think I only make myself happy and everybody should serve me. That is attachment. Attachment comes, when my focus is for others, then I am detaching myself. I am focusing, I am attached to them. That is real love. And when I think that I shall use them for myself, that is called real attachment. I am attached to myself. Some people misunderstand renunciation. Renunciation is positive and negative, I always say. If I tell you that I shall give a fancy home on this king car, a palace, perhaps you live in a North St. Louis in a ghetto area, a small building or perhaps slum house. Will you not renounce that one and come to this good one? You will. That is called renunciation. You renounce something and get something higher. So we give up the temporary happiness, pleasure, for permanent peace and bliss. That is called renunciation. That is called detachment. One of my teachers taught me that, love cannot be divided. How? We love so many people. Then he explained from the psychological standpoint. Here is a mother, had two twin children. She bought 2 rasagollas and gave one to the older one and another he gave to the younger one. If you do not tell anything, the younger one take the rasagolla and throw away. My mother does not love me. Why? Because he knew not only the rasagollas are divided, my mother's love also has been divided. Always remember, these human beings want full love. Mother wants full love from her children, children wants full love from her parents, God wants full love from the devotees. Love. Can we not love all human beings? At that time you feel that God dwells in all beings. You are worshipping God in all of them. Not only this person I love and this person I love. At that time you are uniformly loving God in all of them. That is the way it works. The Swamiji says they only live who live for others. And when you are born, keep a mark in this world that you came to this world. People might have money or power, position, but when they die, who cares? Nobody will remember those people. But the people, those who give and sacrifice their maximum to the people, for the nation, for the country, they will be remembered forever. Only sacrifice can make a person great. Self-sacrifice for the good of others. That is called real spiritual life to me. They will live in the hearts of millions of people all over the world. Moreover, quite often I tell you that peace and bliss cannot be bought in the market. No way. They come from spiritual life. And we are born in this world to have some peace and bliss. Those who lead the spiritual life know how much joy they get. The current of bliss flows in their hearts. I remember in our Vedanta class, our principal Swami used to tell us, I am teaching you Vedanta. I want to see your joyful faces. I don't want to see your gloomy, grouchy faces. Brahman is Sachidananda, existence, consciousness, bliss absolute. That bliss must manifest through your action, through your face, through your body, through your mind, everywhere. That bliss must saturate everywhere. I remember I went to Bank of America and I saw a sign on the counter. If you are grouchy, irritable, or just mean, there will be a $10 charge putting up with you. Then I told that girl, could you give me a piece of paper? I want to write down this message. Then I wrote in my diary. Spiritual life, those who do spiritual adventure, they go through, in the beginning, they go through various kinds of ordeals, trials and tribulations. But finally, they bring peace and joy to humanity. I read another story. A hunter caught a skylark which was singing joyfully on the branch of a tree. The hunter trapped the bird and asked it, "Why are you so happy? I see you are singing with great joy." The skylark said to the hunter, "Of course I shall tell you the cause of my happiness, but first you will have to release me. Then on the top of the tree I shall tell you the cause of my happiness." So the hunter released the bird. The bird sat on the branch, a higher branch of a tree, and said, "I am happy because I am good. And you are unhappy, miserable because you are bad, cruel. You kill innocent animals. That is the reason. Be good, do good." That is the message of Buddha. In spiritual life, preparation is very important. Preparation. I noticed one monk in Tubuku. I was then there. He was carrying a nearly 40 pounds backpack and climbing on the top of 1400 peak in our monastery after supper. I told him, "Why are you, what are you doing?" Well, "Swami, I am going for vacation to Yosemite National Forest for 2 weeks, and I shall make a camp there. So I have, in this bag, I have tent, I have dry food, everything I need for 2 weeks I am carrying. So I am practicing how to climb on the 1400 feet." It struck me that how much preparation is necessary in a spiritual life. Those who go to the moon, to the space, they go through various kinds of disciplines, training. Spiritual life also, we need some training. We need some training. In Vedanta, we know the 4 basic disciplines they will have to observe. First, discrimination. Second, detachment, renunciation. Third, self-control. Fourth, burning desire for liberation. These are all basic trainings for the seekers of spiritual life. In the devotional scripture also we find their disciplines. Adau Shraddha, first you need faith. From faith, next Sadhu Sangha, holy company. Third, spiritual practices. Fourth, anartha nivritti. When all the obstacles which you are coming, that you will have to counteract them, face them. Then comes nishtha, steadfast devotion. Then comes taste. From taste you get joy. Then you develop tremendous attachment for God, that without God you cannot live in this world. Then comes bhava, ecstasy. Then comes love, divine love, which will unite you with God. That is, in Christian people call it divine communion. We call it samadhi. Same thing. Spiritual life. There is a proverb, "He who seeks adventures finds blows." Only the heroes can do some adventures. The lazy, home-loving, calculating, weak people are not afraid to make any adventure. That is the reason Vedanta always reminds us, Ovi, be fearless. Nayam atma balohinena labhya. This Atman cannot be attained by weak people. You must be strong. Because you are the Atman, you are Ajara, Amara, Amrita, Abhaya. You are diseaseless, deathless, birthless, immortal. Infinite strength is within you. manifest it. You know, that is the reason Vedantic teachings are very, very powerful. Raise yourself by yourself. Uddharet atmanatmanam. Do not yield to depression. Your disciplined mind is your friend. Your indisciplined mind is your enemy. Rouse that Atman within you. Emerson said, the thirst for adventure is the vent which destiny offers. A war, a crusade, a gold mine, a new country, speak to the imagination and offer swing and play to the confined powers. Adventure. When I see the arch, you remember that how the Midwest people made their journey to the west, thinking that California, there are gold mines, gold rush, let us go and be rich. So many people died. I saw in our museum, in our what is called in the Arch Museum below, they show that how the Midwest was discovered by Lewis and Clark. How much suffering they had to go through coming through the Mississippi River. The St. Louis was discovered in 1804. All the signs are there. Amazing what kind of adventure they made to discover the Midwest of the United States of America. They went through a hard way. Many people died. Same thing we find Columbus, who discovered America. The Emperor of Spain gave him the boat and released the prisoners, that they will be the boatmen, they will row the boat, the sailors. 2-3 months over, they are crossing the Atlantic. The sailors became very impatient. They wanted to kill Columbus. Then I still remember, I read in that book, The Discovery. Columbus told that sailors, dark deeds are better done in the dark. I still remember that sentence. I read it in 8th grade. Dark deeds are better done in the dark. Give me 3 days' time. And then they found the land. Adventure. All great achievements came through this kind of adventure. Same thing in spiritual life. Ramakrishna used to sing a song to the devotees. I shall read that song. It is a song of Ram Prasad. ডুব দে রে মন কালী বলে হৃদি রত্না করে অগাধ জলে রত্না কন্যা শূন্য কখন 2-4 যুবে ধন্যা মেলে তুমি দম সামর্থ্যে এক যুবে যাও কুলো কুঞ্জলিনীর কুলে জ্ঞান সমুদ্রের মাঝে রে মন শান্তিরূপা মুক্তা ফলে তুমি ভক্তি করে কুড়ায় পাবে শিবযুক্তি মত চাইলে কামাদি ছায় কুম্ভীর আছে আহার লোভে সদাই চলে তুমি দম সামর্থ্যে এক যুবে যাও কুলো কুঞ্জলিনী কুলো তুমি বিবেক হলদি গায়ে মেখে যাও ছোবে না তার গন্ধ পেলে রতন মাণিক্য কত পড়ে আছে সেই জলে রামপ্রসাদ বলে ঝম্প দিলে মিলবে রতন ফলে ফলে ইট ইজ ইন দি গসপেল page 124. I shall read the meaning. Adventure. Taking the name of Kali, dive deep down, O mind, into the heart's fathomless depths, where many a precious gems lies hid. But never believe the bed of the ocean bare of gems, if in the first few dives you fail. With firm resolve and self-control, dive deep and make your way to the Mother Kali's realm. Down in the ocean depths of heavenly wisdom lie the wondrous pearls of peace, O mind, and you yourself can gather them. If you but have pure love and follow the scripture's rule within those ocean depths as well, 6 alligators, last काम क्रोध, last anger, jealousy, hatred, delusion, greed, these are the 6 alligators. Lark, last anger and the rest, swimming about in search of prey. Smear yourself with the turmeric of discrimination. The very smell of it will shield you from their jaws. Upon the ocean bed lie strewn unnumbered pearls and precious gems. Plunge in, says Ramprasad, and gather up handfuls of that. It is a mystical song. Ramprasad was a great mystic. These mystics made all the adventures and left their experiences for us how to dive deep in the realm of that spirituality. God, Mother. Beautiful song. In spiritual life, satisfaction is not always good. That means your progress is stopped. Suppose you have a little vision or you get some kind of a little awakening. Oh, I have got it. And you stopped. Never do that. Swami Brahmananda said, always create some dissatisfaction inside you. There is more and more and more and more in this spiritual life. I remember in Chandogya Upanishad, after 22 questions, Narada learned from Sanat Kumara, Bhumaiva Sukham Nalpe Sukhamasti. Bliss is only in the infinite, not in the finite. That bliss, that Bhuma is Brahman, infinite. So until you reach there, you must move on. Arise, awake, and just stop not till the goal is reached. Uttishthita, Jagrata, Prapavara, Nibodhata. That is the message of the Upanishads. Sri Ramakrishna told in his parable of that woodcutter. A poor woodcutter was selling firewoods in the market. A holy man told him, go forward. He was thinking, why holy man said that? Let me follow the holy man. He went forward, found a sandalwood forest. Sandalwood very expensive. He sold that sandalwood and became very rich. Then he was thinking, holy man told me go forward. Then he went further and found copper mine, went further, found silver mine, went further, got gold mine, diamond mine, and became very rich. Through that parable, Sri Ramakrishna mentioned, in the spiritual adventure, in the spiritual journey, always go forward. That is a beautiful parable. Of course, during our spiritual adventure in journey, temptations will come. That is very normal, natural. One should not be afraid of it. What are those obstacles? 3. Kamini, Kanchan, Nam, Josh. Lustful objects, man or woman, whatever. Kanchan, money, Nam, Josh, name and fame. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we also find there are 3 desires. Lokeshana, Putrishana, Vitteshana, Sarveva, Eshaneva, Bhavata. Listen. Only 3 desires are controlling this whole world. 3 desires. But you may say, Swami, I have innumerable desires. But all those innumerable desires are incorporated in these 3 desires. First, Lokeshana, desire for name and fame. Putrishana, desire for progeny, children, sex. Vitteshana, desire for money. So these three desires bind human beings. They are obstacles. In the Yoga Shastra also, caution the yogis, those who make adventure in spiritual life. Listen, these are the 4 obstacles in your journey. In the first stage, Madhukolpika, Pratamakolpika. Pratamakolpika means you just got instruction from your guru, mantra, started spiritual discipline with great zeal and enthusiasm, no problem. In the second stage, called Madhubhumika. Madhubhumika means you have developed some kind of control over nature, elements. You are developing some powers. At that time, temptation comes. Some men or some women may tempt you, or some rich men can give you money and give you comfort, or you perhaps have many disciples, they will spread your name and fame through YouTube. Anyhow, those obstacles will come. But you will have to overcome those obstacles, first 2. The second one. Third place is called Prajnajyoti. Prajnajyoti means you have like X-ray vision. When Maya comes, you can see the inside, outside of Maya. That apparent, open, that beauty or these things cannot tempt you. You see the cause of this object, and then you will never be tempted. If you see that if this body, I am attached to a body, and I see this body is nothing but ashes, then you are not attached to these ashes. Next is Utikranta Bhavaniya. At that time, the 4th stage, you go beyond temptation. Nobody can tempt you. You are established yogi. What to speak about ordinary yogis and human beings? Even the avatars are tempted. Buddha was tempted by Mara, Christ was tempted by Satan, Ramakrishna was tempted by Mothu, took him to the prostitutes in Calcutta, wanted to offer him money, and name, fame. Keshav Chandra Sen wanted to spread his name through his papers. Unfortunate. Jesus said, it is necessary that temptation comes, but oh, the man by whom the temptation comes. Even in the Lord's Prayer, we read, we say, Lord, lead us not unto temptation. Temptation is very important. But why do you think so? I sometimes give that example. It is, suppose you are a captain of a boat. So if the ocean is calm and you are sailing the boat, no glory. But if you can save your boat from the tornado or from hurricane, then you are a good captain. That brings your knowledge, your wisdom, your your presence of the mind, your skill, that you saved the boat. Same thing in spiritual life. How do you know that you have overcome this Maya or not? So God tests us, and that is the way. Even the Christian monks, I read many times this Wisdom of the Desert Fathers. That is one of my favorite books. They caution that if you want to hate 2 things, hate only 2 things: easygoing life and vain glory. Easygoing life will stop your spiritual growth, and vain glory your ego, your self-advertisement. That is the great obstacle. About pastor said, the virtue of a monk is made manifest by temptation. Another monk said, poverty, tribulation, and discretion. Job represents those who possesses nothing. Job represents those who suffer tribulation. Daniel represents those who discern good from evil. If these three actions are found in a man, then God dwells in him. As I said, the spiritual journey, it is from lower to higher and higher and higher and higher stages. In Vedantic tradition, we find there are 7 stages of a spiritual journey. It is in Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. First is Shubhetsha. Shubhetsha means a good desire has come to lead a spiritual life. So I go to my guru, take initiation from him, and practice what he said. And I study the scriptures and have holy company. In this way I made my journey, spiritual journey. Shubhetsha. Vicharana, at that time I have some kind of renunciation and I learn how to discriminate between the real and unreal. So I focus my mind on the real God. Third, Tonu Manusha. Tonu Manusha means mind becomes very light. Do you know heavy mind and light mind? If you have too many desires, too much attachments, your mind will be heavy. You will be down to the earth. If you have not too much attachment, too much worldly desires, your mind will go like a balloon. It will go up. At that time, you get tremendous peace and joy. Otherwise, all the time, if somebody puts perhaps 200 pounds weight on your head, how do you feel? And if somebody removes that weight, how do you feel? That kind of thing happens in the mind. That is called Tonu Manusha. At that time, Anashakti, detached, unattachment comes in the mind. In these first 3 stages, at that time you are a sadhaka. You are a spiritual aspirant. In the 4th stage, you are Jivan Mukta. That is called Sattvaputti. Sattvaputti means your mind is no more in the external world. Your mind at that time dwells in the Atman. Day and night you feel about that God consciousness. That is Jivan Mukti. Sattvaputti. Next, that is 4th stage. 5th stage, Asang Shakti. Asang Shakti means at that time your worldly attachments, all the samskaras are gone. Next is Padartha Abhavini. At that time, you do not see the world, you see only Brahman. That is Savikalpa Samadhi. And then Turjaga, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. You are out from Maya. Let me give an illustration, then you will understand what I mean, these stages. Anta shunna bahi shunna shunna kumbho ibam bhare anta purna bahi purna purna kumbho ibar nabe. It is in Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. It's a beautiful verse. Here is a picture. What do you see? It's inside is a space, it's outside is a space. But it is in the above, we see. Same picture you put into the ocean. What do you see? Is inside is water, is outside is water. That thing happens when we attain the Atman. You see, your inside and outside are saturated with that cosmic consciousness. That is the highest stage. That is the goal of our journey. In spiritual journey, monk's life and householder's life are different. Sannyas dharma, garhastha dharma. The monastic life, householder's life. But both will reach the goal. Please read those two books. God lived with them, the stories of the direct disciples of Ramakrishna who are monks, and they lived with God, the devotees of Ramakrishna, their life stories. You will see both of them how they led God-centered life. You see, monastic life means your inside, outside, both you will have to renounce. In householder's life, your external, you will not have to renounce. Inside you renounce. How to do it? That you will have to reach from the Gospel of Ramakrishna. On the second day, M interviewed him, how to live in this world, and all this. Read it, that today you can read that part. The second day, M asked 4 vital questions of human life to Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna answered. But you know, sometimes the householders try to follow the monk's ideal and get confused. I was reading that wisdom of the Jesuit fathers. A monk came to a monastery and said, I sold that book which told me that sell whatever you have and then follow me. I sold that book. That is his Bible. But I was thinking, well, I cannot sell my books. I have so many hundreds, thousands of books. They are my friends, my companions. They gave me holy company. Last 60 years, they are with me. Many of them, of course, not all. In a spiritual journey, you need a guru. Swami Brahmananda says, if you want to be a pickpocket, you need a teacher. And you want to realize God, don't you need a teacher? Tad vijnanartham sa guruma vivigachit samitpani shrutriyam brahmanishtam. It is in Munjaka Upanishad. A seeker of God, a seeker of Brahman, found out that the thing which I achieved through karma is subject to destruction. All karmas, all results of karma are subject to destruction. So he wants to go to a teacher with samitpani, with sacrificial wood in his hand, and goes to a teacher, knower of Brahman, to have instructions from the Guru. Samitpani means Shraddha, faith, love, devotion, sincerity. With that, you will have to go to your Guru and approach. And the Guru will instruct you. There will be 2 qualifications of a student. Prasanta chittayo, samannitayo. You have a control of the mind and the control of the senses. And then the Guru will say, Satyena tapasa, Satyena lebhyas tapasa hi asa atma, samyagyanena brahmacharjena nityam satya. Listen, my student, follow the path of truth. The thing which is real, hold it. Tapasa, austerity. The control of the mind and the senses is called tapasya. Spiritual disciplines. Samyagyan. Samyagyan means try to cultivate that kind of attitude that God dwells in everything. Everything is the manifestation of Brahman. That is called Samyagyan. Brahmacharya means purity of heart, desirelessness. These are the 4 disciplines you practice, and then Guru will give you more instructions. I read some books on Christian mystics. One of the famous book was The Way of a Pilgrim. A Russian monk went to a teacher, read from the Bible, pray unceasingly. How can a person pray unceasingly? So he went to another teacher, and the teacher said, well, pray to Jesus Christ with this mantra, Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me. This is the mantra, repeat. So he repeated, well, it is not working. He went 2-3 teachers. Well, no, then one teacher told him, today repeat 3,000. Next week, 6,000. Next week, 12,000. Next week, more. In this way, increase your mantras. Then you will see how it works. It worked. He said later on that mantra has gone as spontaneous and instinctive like breathing. Mantra became as spontaneous and instinctive as breathing. That is called Ajapa Japam in Vedanta tradition. Ajapa Japam. The mantra, if you repeat thousands of times, Holy Mother says if you repeat mantra 15 to 20,000 times a day, your mind will calm in no time. You see, it works. They experimented. They explored this mantra shastra. I do know that reminds me of American way of life, a mantra. Let me give an example. It will be easy for you to understand. You turn on the engine of your car. First, what do? You press with your foot the accelerator, the gas, heavily. Immediately, the wheels started to move. Then press. The moment the wheels start to move smoothly, slowly you release the pressure from the accelerator. Later on, when you go to the freeway, so I sometimes see our devotees drive me from Kansas City to St. Louis. They put it in cruise control. The 70-75 miles, they put their cruise control. He will not put his foot there anymore, just steering the car and drive. To me, that is called Ajapa Japam. The car runs automatically, without any pressure on the accelerator, the gas. Same thing, the mantra moves automatically in the system. I am talking about that is adventure. How to do it. You can do adventure in external life also. You know, some people do karma yoga, and one of the young men, 50 years work in a slum. That was an adventure. I want to sacrifice my life for the good of humanity. And he got peace and joy in life. Ramakrishna did many adventures in his spiritual life. He told his disciples all those in details. If you want to know Ramakrishna's spiritual adventure, please read volume 2, Sadhak Bhava. Ramakrishna is a spiritual aspirant from Ramakrishna's divine play. The mystics of all religions did all kinds of adventures in his spiritual life. Some recorded, such as Saint Teresa of Avila, Saint John of the Cross, and some verbally expressed their experiences to their disciples. Same way we find the rishis of the Upanishads. They left the record of their adventure in the pages of the Upanishads. We can learn many things from them. When you read the God lived with them, that how the disciples of Ramakrishna made adventure in spiritual life, fascinating. How one can unite the mind and the speech. Swami Chetanananda was taking bath in the Ganges. All of a sudden somebody says, "Hey, crocodile, crocodile!" All ran away, going, get out from the water. But he also did it. Literally was thinking, well, I practice that I am the Atman, birthless, deathless, immortal. Why should I be afraid of crocodile? Again he jumped into the river. But luckily the crocodile was not there. That story struck me when I was very young, that how they practice their guru's teaching. Your mind and your speech must be united. I practice, I am Atman, I am birthless, deathless, immortal, and I am running away from the fear of a crocodile. No, he again jumped. Anyhow, that is adventure. Of course, God protects them. Some newcomers ask Swami, how shall I start my spiritual life? I have some suggestions to them. First, Vedanta is not a Sanjay religion. That you go once a week in Sanjay and pray in the church and come back home, bas. That's it. No way. Vedanta is every day's religion. Every day you will have to practice religion. First set up a shrine in your house. You have so many rooms. If you don't have rooms, give a corner of the room. If not, give the wall space. Put some beautiful pictures. Good pictures. Set up something. I sometimes ask some people that, take Thakur Mahaswamiji's picture, make an altar, put our posters, Kamarpuku, Jayarambaji, Belurma, Dakshineshwar, and create an atmosphere in your shrine. Set up your holy books, Gita, Upanishad, Gospel of Ramakrishna, or whatever books you like, set up in your bookshelf, which is very, very important. Spend some money and make a routine. At least 4 hours I shall spend in spiritual life. 2 hours in the shrine, meditation and prayer, and 2 hours study, morning and evening. We can do it. If there is a will, there is a way. And make a routine. A routine life is very, very important to develop a spiritual life. And karma yoga, give some voluntary work. If you have real, genuine love for God, your spiritual journey will be more smooth. Thank you. तेजोसि तेजोमयि धेहि बीर्यामसि बीर्याङ्मयि धेहि बलामसि बलाङ्मयि धेहि ओजोसि ओजोमयि धेहि मन्नुरसि मन्नुङ्मयि धेहि सहोसि सहोमयि धेहि विश्वानि देवसवितर्दुरितानि पराशुभं यद्भद्रं तन्न अशुभं. From Shukla Yajurveda Samhita. O Lord, thou art the embodiment of infinite energy. Do thou fill me with energy. Thou art the embodiment of infinite virility. Do thou endow me with virility. Thou art the embodiment of infinite strength. Do thou bestow strength upon me. Thou art the embodiment of infinite power. Do thou grant power into me. Thou art the embodiment of infinite courage. Do thou inspire me with courage. Thou art the embodiment of fortitude. Do thou steer me with fortitude. O Lord, O thou the illuminator, do thou free us from ignorance. Do thou bring to us what is auspicious. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. peace, 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 24. Next week our subject will be Teach Us the Upanishads. Now there will be Zoom session. Please give us a few minutes time so we shall get ready to answer your questions. Thank you.